Hey, let's talk about Three-Eye Atlas, the interstellar object that is actually a cosmic message to us. And I'm going to do a reading today and tell you more about Three-Eye Atlas in case you haven't heard about it or want more information. Hi, I'm Chris Seraphin, and welcome to New Earth Readings. Please subscribe, and if you like this video, hit the like button and please share with your friends who can benefit from this information. Thank you so much. It really helps the algorithm send me out to more people who could discover my work. So I appreciate your support. So let's get talking about Three-Eye Atlas. So Three-Eye Atlas was first discovered on July 1st in this year in Chile by the Atlas telescope, hence the name. It really is an anomaly because it does not behave like a normal comet. In fact, there are theories that claim it's actually technology to observe our solar system due to the fact that its trajectory comes very close. We'll talk about that to planets in our solar system, but obviously is not endangering anything or bumping into anything. It feels a very precise trajectory. So the theory is it's sent by an alien life form outside of our solar system to observe our solar system. A couple of other clues about this are the fact that its tail is in front rather than the back. And it's moving very fast, and its speed is not due to normal gassing off that propels regular comets. So this is obviously very different. It is the third confirmed interstellar object detected so far. The first was Oumuamua in 2017, which is a Hawaiian term which means like the first scout. Very interesting name. And then the second one was Two-Eye Borisov in 2019. So Borisov was the astronomer who first observed the object. So the orbit of Three-Eye Atlas is hyperbolic. In other words, it's not bound to the sun. So after passing through our inner solar system, it will leave again into interstellar space. And really, the closest approach it will make to Earth is quite far away, so it poses no threat to our planet. And what's interesting is that its trajectory on October 3rd, 2025, has it flying by Mars very closely. Also, after that, moving close to Venus, and it will reach perihelion on October 29th. So, perihelion means that, like when a celestial object is at the closest point in its elliptical orbit where it's closest to the sun. And before it flies out of our solar system, it will fly closely by Jupiter. And this is in March of 2026, March 16th to be precise. So there are a couple of YouTube videos and channels that have talked about this in recent times that I've really enjoyed. One is the World Astrology Report, and the second is an interview or a conversation between Pam Gregory and Stephen Burns, and both links are below if you want to check those out. They go very in depth, so I highly recommend those channels and those particular videos if you want to learn more. And these people are not sensationalists, so you have to be careful. There are a lot of sensationalists out there talking about the end of the world, whatever. And maybe it is the end of the world in a metaphorical way, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So let's talk about the cosmic significance to us with the astrology of Three-Eye Atlas. So it was first observed during Cancer season of this year, which was July 1st, 2025. And this tells me that Three-Eye Atlas is stirring up issues and emotions around family of origin, ancestors, ancestry, and the theme of home. And I've seen this in my own life, in my family's life. Like my father went back to his motherland, Italy, to the very specific towns where his grandfather was born. and actually, really learning about his ancestry, really connecting in with his roots. And it was very powerful for him to go back. And he's also going to get citizenship in Italy. So, for some of you, this might be an issue that you have been either dealing with or somehow finding a spark of interest beginning this year, particularly maybe really taking those steps starting in July. So, um, this is a time to meditate on what does home mean to you. And another way this could play out is that many of us will be moving, changing home, or considering. Um, Other themes that could arise during this time that are beneficial for you to consider, all of us to consider, and even journal about are what are the limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors that you have inherited from your family of origin, and that even go further back to ancient ancestral roots. Many of us will desire to return to our ancestral home countries to connect with the energy of our ancient roots and that magic to really empower us, right? Like my father did. If you have had triggers around your own mother, this is a time to do forgiveness work and send back her energy and reclaim your power of creation and nurturing with compassion and love. This is not easy to do for many people because the mother holds so much, can hold so much deep wounding, as well as, and some of us have had great relationships with our mothers. Um, I feel like I'm in that category. Not saying that any relationship is perfect, but I feel very fortunate that my mom and I were best friends. But I do have triggers around her mother who committed suicide when I was in utero, when my mom was pregnant with me. And so I feel like I'm consistently doing forgiveness work around my maternal grandmother for abandoning my mother in a sense, affecting her ability to mother me and mother herself. And, there was a lot there. So I feel like um, I have done work over the years around my maternal grandmother and really forgiving her because she was in Japan when they dropped the bomb. And Um, she was actually in another town when they dropped it, but um, a lot of Japanese citizens who had escaped or gone under, underground when the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because apparently the United States dropped leaflets, um, like warning the citizens of those towns to flee, that it was going to be bombed. Um, just there's a lot of interesting history, but basically the people that did go away were forced to go back and help with the survivors, help with cleanup. And so those people got the radiation, got poisoned, so to speak. Um, and so my maternal grandmother struggled with cancer and died at 42 when she couldn't handle the pain anymore and took her own life. So um, obviously that affects me and affects, you know, my sister, her children, my children, our grandchildren. So I feel like this is an opportunity. If you have those kinds of stories in your life, maybe it's the Holocaust, maybe there's so many like catastrophic things that have happened in families, and it might not even be on a collective scale like that. It might have been just something very personal to your family. So this is the time to work through it, to release yourself and release your lineage, okay? And release those who might have perpetrated or contributed to that pain, right? Um, Yet another way this can play out with mother figures in your life. Um, Connecting with them and just maybe without the triggers, but just learning about them, learning about your ancestry, learning about the family of origin and the lineage of your of the maternal line, right? Um, and maybe you do this with your father, you know. Both could actually really benefit you at this time. So you're connecting with your mother, father figures in your life, or maybe connecting with those who have passed beyond the veil. Um, so that would be, I have some work to do with my ancestors. And I do wish to also have Italian citizenship and also connect deeply with my Japanese roots and my Italian roots. So I feel like this makes a lot of sense in my own personal life. And yeah, let me know in the comments below how this is playing out for you and if this resonates. Um, on another sign, Three Eye Atlas is passing very closely today, October 3rd, to both Mars and later to Venus, and then at the end of October, very close to the Sun. So it is moving, it is making some connections between Libra and Scorpio season. So this marks a time of rebalancing of the scales of justice, right? That could be karma, that could be the actual legal system, actual social justice. And really, it emphasizes the importance of our closest relationships. So here we kind of go again towards family of origin, but a lot of our closest relationships could be our spouse, our lovers, our audience, even the other, um, how, yeah, coming to terms with people pleasing behaviors that may be sabotaging your spiritual growth. We also have the South Node in Virgo, which well, Virgo, in March of next year, it'll pass by Jupiter, and this is kind of a Piscean, um, Cancer story and Virgo story, so that would happen later um, in that March connection with Jupiter. But yeah, we're going to see some interesting cosmic stories coming up for us as a collective and in our personal lives. Um, and with all that scorpionic energy, we're going to definitely see, this is a signal, this three-eye atlas is a signal of seeing the death and dissolution of the outdated systems and forms of government, financial systems, and what has been considered poisonous can be transmuted to a more healing form. So today I am going to be pulling cards from the Mother Mary Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Um, so we can get a message, a really loving message from the cosmic mother, the cosmic womb, Mother Mary. And Mother Mary is, again, a beautiful archetype. And we have, looks like two like jumped out. We have two that have jumped out. Okay. So, Mother Mary, an archetypal form. We saw her in the form of Isis before we had um, the Virgin Mary, right? So the Great Mother is all about the the creation of our true selves, the birthing of our true purpose, and this beautiful heart of nurturing and compassion and unconditional love. And, it's not just about loving other people, but it's also the self-love, the self-forgiveness that you might be needing at this time. But, this is a time for us to really do this work, especially in Libra Scorpio season where we're dealing with um, the themes of our ancestral roots and our mothers. And so always, I believe it always starts with the self and working outwards from there to others. Okay, the first card that came up is number 23, Our Lady of the Rose Child. Just absolutely beautiful image of Mother Mary with roses in her hair, with a child, um, with also roses around the child's head. So here is our message, our first message. You are my rose child, born of agony and ecstasy. In sorrow and joy, I am with you and you are growing. In darkness and light, I am with you and you are growing. In death and new life, I am with you and you are growing. The thorn and the bloom, both of the rose. In the midst of your suffering, you are in the birthing pains of new life. I cherish you, my heavenly rose child. Do not fear the darkness of light. It is necessary for your light to be made manifest. I am your mother, the midwife of the birth of your soul and the defender of your heart. Surrender and trust in me. Wow. Torn open by suffering, you have become vulnerable and compassionate. Strengthened through joy, you become light of spirit and accepting of all life. You are her rose child. And I kind of like also the image because to me the planet Venus, she makes the pattern of a five-petaled rose in the sky through her movements, and we're going to definitely be looking at Venus and working with the portal of opening the portals of Venus through the star of Venus, and that's coming up. I'm doing a class on that on October 18th. It's $33. You'll absolutely get so much depth and understanding around the astrology of Venus, but even more so around the um, how to work with magical portals with the star of Venus. It's something that I've been working with for, I don't know, since 2000 and probably around the time Seraphina was born, 2006, 2007, so about nearly 20 years. And I really want to share this with you. It's very healing and it's also empowering. Um, and I'll put the details below so you can sign up. Um, to become what you are, you have endured the agony of breaking open as a seed, found inner strength to push down roots, and the focused intention to rise above the earth. You have been thorns and branches, finding ways to protect yourself from predators as you reach out to the light. And now your heart, the fragrant, blooming rose, is opening. This process repeats as we transform and become capable of receiving more life force, growing into a bigger manifestation of our soul light upon the earth. At such points on the path, we come into direct contact with the divine. This isn't always what we think it will be. Through the mother love, though the mother loves and protects her holy child, which is your own soul, beloved, she does not try to stop that child from growing. That would not be mothering. That would be smothering, which does not allow for life to promote growth, but prevents it no matter how well-meaning that overprotection may be. Allowing more contact with the divine means more of life pumps through our being. That is joy, and that can also be agony. These cannot be separated. The devotee of the Divine Mother understands that the connection with the peace of the spiritual presence is not about avoiding life, but becoming strong enough to bear it, to grow through it, to become radiant, a divine living soul made flesh. Oh, wow, this is really beautiful. So, this is definitely about transmuting pain that you have endured, suffering that you have endured in your life that's probably connected to mother, or maybe it also, even goes further back. How did your mother and foremothers suffer? And now the time is for that healing to occur. Um, Beautiful message. The second message we got is Our Lady of Blessing Bestowed. Again, beautiful image of receiving a blessing from the Great Mother. And this feels like whatever you have been undergoing, whatever kind of suffering that you've had to go through. Um, and I find it interesting that the first interstellar object that was discovered was, um, gosh, what is that word again? Let me look at my notes. The name of the first scout. Yeah, Oumuamua. That was 2017. 2017 was so like such a key to my growth as a woman, as a mother, spiritually, personally. That's when my mom passed away. Um, so I think it's an interesting thing for me to like really contemplate that. So maybe think about what came up for you in 2017? Can you remember the themes? Can you remember major events that happened to you? And did they connect to family of origin, or can you now maybe find the connection to family of origin? Could be important discoveries for you on your personal soul growth journey. Okay, so our blessing, Our Lady of Blessing bestowed, number 26, and my foot's asleep. I hate when it does that. Getting those little tingly things. Okay. I'm offering you a spiritual gift now, the gift of a heavenly blessing. This blessing may come through a person, place, or thing, or spring forth from within your own heart, unfolding like a blooming rose. I ask that you trust me because in receiving this blessing, things will change. The changes are a shedding of that which would hold you back from fully receiving my blessing. My blessing asks you to have trust and courage as I help you leap into your divine fulfillment more swiftly than you could do on your own. A blessing sounds like a marvelous happening, and it is. However, we can forget that divine energy, which is concentrated like spiritual vitamins, will cause healing, and this may move circumstances and situations along, often at a rapid pace. A blessing is like a divine volcanic eruption from within our own heart. It can start with a rumble, but when the time is right, we are ignited and cannot be held back from an explosion of divine love that might change everything that is in the way of our next heavenly steps upon the earth. So I feel like this blessing will feel like you're getting supercharged energy. It could also feel like something all of a sudden you feel like this passion for life, a passion for a certain person, passion for a certain project, that something is reawakening within you. Rest assured that a blessing from the Holy Mother is only given when we can handle it. Though you can also expect that there will be times as the blessing begin its work when you may wonder if you're really up to what you feel is being asked of you. You may doubt yourself at times, questioning if you can really handle what is happening in your life without falling apart completely. You will succeed through the Holy Mother's grace, of course, but sometimes you might wonder if you aren't just cracking up inside, to be broken apart, never to be repaired. This is a sign that we are really growing and especially outgrowing a past that is too small for our soul's future. This is beautiful. With the onset of this blessing, you might have a subtle reorientation, or you might suddenly feel like you're heading in a very different direction. Either way is perfect for you. Trust, all will be well. And soon the chaos of change will be replaced with great joy, gratitude, and even deeper trust in the tender genius of the Divine Mother's grace. Okay, so each of these cards has a healing process and affirmation. So I'm just going to do that with you here as we end this transmission, um, just to give you that healing moment that you might need right now as we are moving through so much change and uncertainty. And I hope this brings to light for you something that maybe has felt mysterious or felt, again, uncertain, unsure, that this gives you more confidence in your own healing. powers, you know. We each have the power to heal. It really lives within us. Our body is a technology of healing on the emotional, physical, and spiritual levels. And the more we can heal ourselves, the more that energy ripples out to everyone else in our lives and in the world. And if you feel like as you're doing this healing process, maybe you want to devote this to a cause. Devote this to someone outside of you, to your mother who has passed, your mother who might be suffering or going through a hard time, or someone, anyone in your life, and also giving it to yourself. But you can, whatever intention you hold, maybe think of right now, like, what am I devoting this healing process to? To my own spiritual growth, to the healing of people in the world who are suffering, children who might be suffering. Um, so maybe spend a second now, put your hand over your heart and close your eyes and really think of how and who you are devoting this process of healing to. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Inhale all the way up from your feet, all the way up your body to the crown of your head and shooting up into the cosmos, connecting into the divine womb of the cosmos. And then feeling that energy coming down and like radiating around you like a beautiful sparkling shower of pink and gold light. And keeping your eyes closed, here is the healing process. I want you to imagine, sense, or feel that before you stands a beautiful woman with dark golden skin and luminous light emerging from every pore. Her eyes gaze at you lovingly, and all around her shines a bright golden light. Her right hand is raised in blessing, and light streams forth from that hand. And keep taking deep breaths, slow. Relax and receive that light, imagining that you can breathe it in on your inhalation and then let go of everything else on your exhalation. Receive, relax all of that beautiful light, breathing it in on your inhalation. Now let go and exhale it out, releasing tension, stress, and also spreading that light around you, 360 degrees above you, all around you, below you. Feel the light continuing to be sent to you for another moment. And now that light has completed its work, its healing work. Feel it throughout your body, every cell of your body lighting up with gold, pink light, and send out that light now, rippling it out all around you, touching the field, touching everyone who needs this healing energy right now. And if your hand's not on your heart, put your hand back over your heart. And you can repeat this out loud or repeat after me in your own mind's eye. I receive the Holy Mother's blessing of grace. And with complete faith, I am moved into alignment with heaven. Walking her path of love upon the earth. Under her protection and guidance always. And so it is. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here. Again, I'm Chris, and this is New Earth Readings. Please subscribe, and I hope you just feel this special energy of Three Eye Atlas and this reconnection with maybe your motherland, your ancestors, your fatherland, all of this family of origin energy really blessing you. Okay, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.